Welcome back to our F1 Manager 24 Create a Team career mode. This is the Season 3 pre-season episode. We're here right at the end of 2025 as we go into 2026. Not only in real life is it a major regulation change, here in the game we have got a major technical regulation change, minus 50% across the board. Chassis, front wing, rear wing, side pods, underfloor suspension. And obviously we did a lot of work to put research in for next year's car. We did 2 bits on the chassis, 1 on front wing, 1 rear wing, 2 side pods, 1 underfloor, and 1 suspension. And hopefully we have negated as much as we can of that deficit, but it's really all about how much we've done versus other teams, of course. Previously, this is what the R&D chart has looked like, before we go on with the rest of the episode. Just take a look at this. This is how we're ending things. That gap from basically where V-Car bar up to the top teams, that's the gap that we were trying to aim for. Why we plateaued for so much of the season. We wanted to try and bridge that gap into 2026 to at least maybe have a shout at our first podium. We have now done 2 seasons in game and we are still yet to score our first podium as a team. We've scored some great points in Season 2. That was the objective. I feel like in Season 3, the objective has to be getting our first podium for the team. And hopefully it's going to be either Ollie Behrman or a brand new driver, because last time out we did have our sights on George Russell. He's very low morale, or right now he's apparently neutral, but he was very low morale wise with Red Bull, and of course he would be, because they're only finished 5th place. They were the Constructors' Champions in Season 1. Now they finish in 5th place in Season 2. McLaren basically ended up dominating that. There was a little, moment where Ferrari looked a bit good, but obviously Piastri won his first ever World Championship. Verstappen had left the team for Mercedes. There's some big questions, because remember, Verstappen was apparently only on a 1-season contract with Mercedes. So have Mercedes done enough to convince him to re-sign for multiple years potentially? Can we get Russell actually away from Red Bull? We couldn't sign him last episode in the finale because it was too late in the season, but his contract ends at the end of this year. Basically ends in 1 day's time, because right now in game it's the 31st of December, so literally in 1 day's time in the calendar his contract will end. And maybe he'll be a free agent. I'm hoping so, that we can just sign him straight away, but we'll see. And going into the winter break, we are upgrading our suspension simulator to get up to level 2, because we were just on level 1. We may need to look at some refurbishment for the wind tunnel. Maybe we're already refurbishing the team hub. Ooh, maybe a refurbishment on all these things for sure into next season. But that will come. So there's plenty of questions to be answered. So stick around right to the end of the episode, because we'll also see what the driver transfers might be like, and then also where we sit in terms of the performance before we get on with the rest of the season. And of course, we're going to stick with the team. The new season target is going to be 6th place. So basically, the board of directors, or you guys, or the in-game board, wants us to basically get the same sort of result, 6th place. I think that's definitely something we need to aim for, and maybe even better. Speaking of the board, by the way, I'll show off some of the top comments in recent, I wouldn't say even episodes of this series, just videos on the channel, because you guys keep just commenting on other videos about the shed, about you guys as board of directors from this series. It's absolutely brilliant, and some of them, especially in relation to that one I did about F1 24. So, yeah, just amazing stuff. You guys are literally just running with this. Running, and I can't escape it. It's either social media, it's even adverts I've done with Sky. You guys are commenting on them. So, yeah, amazing stuff. Right, accept new target. Let's get into it. New season. This is, I feel very, very excitable. 2026, what have we got in store? So our balance sheet going into 2026, we're in the negative. What? We're in the negative apparently. -14? Hang on a minute, what? What's happened here? We've got prize money. Well, that's a lot more than we would have got from season 1. 4 million. Total funding, 11 million. And then car development cost a lot for... I mean, it's a brand new car, basically, 2026. Entry fee has basically doubled from last season. But, okay. We will see how that goes. For 6th place that we got last season in terms of prize money awarded, 45 compared to, well, we were 11th, weren't we? We were 11th in season 1, despite being, you know, joint 0 points with, like, from 8th place down to 11th. So it's astronomical, the difference. We basically, well, we have doubled basically our prize money, which will be divvied out monthly to us over the course of this next season. But what we will lose is our overall CFD testing time. We get less CFD testing and we get less wind tunnel hours. So actually we will have less... You know, we had a big advantage that we made the most of it in 2025. Now, we won't have the same exact advantage because we finished that high. So, yeah, the gearbox limit, ERS limit, engine limit, unfortunately staying the same. I tried to vote for it at some point in Season 2, and they just didn't go for it, so it is what it is. The powertrain selection, I'm just very happy to stick with Ferrari. We've been doing that so far. I think the vibe right now is there's no need to move away from Ferrari. They've been a good engine to us. They're even better than the actual works team that obviously have that double DNF in Baku. So no, I don't even need to entertain the other teams right now. I'm happy with the Ferrari engine. Oh yes, oh my god, he's a free agent. He's a free agent. Yes, let's go in for him. Let's go in for him. I think I might have to offer him more salary than I actually was going to, because I think we went in for 5 million. So let's go for 7 million. I'm happy giving him a 2 million bonus because we're still going to be at a massive discount if we were to get him on a 7 million contract compared to, what was it, like 19 million? I think it was his normal. I'm not liking the fact the line is right there, but apparently the offer seems appropriate, so we'll just go for it. He's not going for it. He's not going for it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No way. No way have Merc fumbled. Oh my days. Antonelli is a free agent. He's a What are they doing? He's 86 rated. He's 19. The rate he's grown at being on the actual grid was mental compared to just on the sidelines or an F2. He's grown exponentially. Oh, we have to try and sign him. That must mean surely they've kept Verstappen, because they must have propped up his salary even more to convince him to stay, and they just can't afford maybe to keep Antonelli on because he maybe wanted more salary. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But let's go in for him. Let's reunite Behrman and Antonelli. That would be vibes. I haven't seen what the performance of the car is right now, but I'm very concerned that the bonus threshold needs to go as low as this for him to be very happy about it. So don't know what that says about our car, but but let's not think about that right now. Salary wise, I want to try and lowball him for 1 million, but he is 86 rated. Like, he is actually higher rated than Behrman. Behrman, the only reason we're on such a low contract with him is because we locked him in from the start of the game. So it's kind of almost like, you know, he didn't know what to, you know, expect in terms of salary, and we just got him on the cheap. So I think we have to bite the bullet and maybe going higher with Antonelli. Is that reasonable for a kid like him, or should we give him a 5 million? I think we were happy to do 5 million to like 8 million with George, weren't we? And immediately, break out. I mean, can I maybe offer him more pay? Like bonus payment? Is that going to really butter him up at all? We're going to get sponsor payments, remember. We're going to get sponsor payments. So let's butter him up with like 1.5 million. And right now we're at minus 14.2, which I'm very concerned about. But I'm sure that just means... I think that's because of 2026. The cars just cost that much, I suppose, and we're going to rebalance it with sponsor payments. Let's try this on. Let's try this on. Please, 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 Antonelli. Please, please. You know you want to link up with Behrman. You know you want to be appreciated by a team that nurtures young talent, not like Mercedes. They've thought, nah, this kid's grown, like, what, 5 overall under us, but we don't want him, apparently. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Oh, okay. Salary-wise, he was okay. So we can go back and counter-offer. Okay. All we have to do, let's go 12th place. And you want it to be higher. Oh, he's bargained this up on the salary as well, you know. I'll go 6 million. I'm not budging from in between. You wanted 7, I'll go 6. I'll go 6. Right, let's go with this. I feel like he's scamming us out of race bonus money, but let's see. Let's see. Please, 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 please. Yes! Come on! Yes! Okay, you may have scammed us. You may have absolutely scammed us out of race target bonuses. The sponsors are basically just going to be paying you every time you turn up to a race. 12th place. We should absolutely be aiming for that every race, Kimi. But it's fine. It's fine. I'll hire you anyway. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely. Okay, ignore his neckline, but absolutely beautiful. Behrman and Antonelli as a partnership in Formula 1 for aarava Archer GP. This is beautiful. Right, here we go. Internal report. What we saying? What we saying? Okay. Some good figures on the 2026 performance coming out of the downforce, basically. Dirty air tolerance is... Look at the dirty air tolerance. We've jumped up massively. Engine cooling's got a bit worse. Tire preservation, not that bad, actually. Engine cooling's actually got a lot worse compared to tire preservation. Acceleration's only a tiny bit worse off. And the top-end speed's actually only a tiny bit. That's basically the same. So, really, the only thing we've massively lost out on is engine cooling. But we can fix that with upgrades, I'm sure, as the ATR period begins now. We're welcoming Antonelli in 86 rated, mate. What a pairing we've got. They're both 86 rated. That's goals. That's goals. Right, James Allison's told us about car development being open. Let's go ahead. Let's go. Actually, no, we can't go ahead right now. We need to actually negotiate our sponsor. Right, what we got? We got Sintro Golden Oil. That's a total funding of 50 million. 51 million with Ferro Energy. And then Trackstar 48. So, a little bit... It's about this. It's only, what? Like... What's that? 800k difference, but we get more upfront money with Sintro. Their engagement targets, we get more per engagement target, and there's less on race day, which is good because that means it's less of a bearing, really. So I'll go with Sintro. You know what? I'll back it. 2026. Let's go with an oil sponsor as a, hopefully I haven't seen yet, but hopefully we're a team that's aiming to be better, even better than we did in season 2, and that means that we need loftier sponsors. So as always in Formula 1, money talks, oil money talks. Let's go with Sintro. Oh, and we've got some 2-star sponsors now in the secondary, That'll be because of our marketability as well, and the good work we did last season. It made our team more attractive. Oh, this is the question though. Last secondary sponsor. Do I go for upfront payment at 3 million? Could we use that 3 million straight off the bat? It's not much difference there. That's not much difference. I think I want to stick with Bad Turtle. We've got some slightly new sponsors going on here. I think that's a good collection. So total funding, 90.7 million. We're going to get 40.9 up front, so we're going to clear this debt, but that'll reduce down. But that's still a good amount of change to start the season with, and then good potential funding from the engagement. Race day is quite high now because of our sponsorships, but from the secondary, but I think hopefully we'll be matching targets. Let's go. Sign that sponsor. And now we've got some new decals for the driver suit. Brand new suit for season 3 with our new title sponsor at the front. Slightly different design with a bit more white going around the suit in general. We've got our new sponsors of Air Mox and our Stay Put sponsor of Bad Turtle on the arms, and then also Eurowire Exchange, brand new sponsor there, and then Air Mox. I thought I'd match that there, and I thought I'd put our logo down here because there was nothing going on in the middle anymore, and I think that actually works really well. Actually, the big logo and the mini one for the photo, basically, for the drivers, basically. And obviously the car will be staying the same. It is still our beautiful, gorgeous aarava livery in the game. Is that, you know what, that just the suit design alone, that change just has an air of, we mean proper business. We are standing on business in Season 3. And for a brand new season, just like we did in Season 2, we're going to be having a slightly altered calendar. Now, in Season 2, I based it off the real FIA published calendar for next season in real life, that is. Whereas for 2026, there is no published calendar yet. So I just gone in and had a little bit of fun with moving about some circuits, but we've still kept a lot of the backbone of the calendar the same in terms of where things are. But we're going to remain with Melbourne being the start of the season, going down under. It's a classic way to start an F1 season, of course. Then we go to China and Japan, just like we did in Season 2. Then we go Bahrain, then Miami, and then we start the European portion of the season. Imola. Spain now back ahead of Monaco as it used to be a couple of years ago. Then to Canada off the back of Monaco. Then we got a very early Zandvoort location for this race, for the Dutch Grand Prix. To Austria, then the usual run of Silverstone, Budapest. Then you got Spa into Monza, so no longer Spa to Zandvoort. We're back with the classic duo of Spa into Monza. Then you got Baku, Singapore, Austin, Mexico, Vegas, and then the run-in at the end of the season is now Qatar, Abu Dhabi, Jeddah as the second last race, and then we are going to end it in Sao Paulo for the Brazilian Grand Prix. I'm sure that will be a big fan favorite to end off the season. It's I think a great chaotic place to end the season, Sao Paulo. There's a good chance of even some rain involved, so always a very, very good one in my opinion. Well, we've got some decent money now, to 25.1 million on the finances, so I think let's put a few upgrades on the start some upgrades on the car, because we may as well. I think we're going to try and look at that engine cooling, try and improve that, because that was woeful basically. So side pods or chassis? I think chassis we could hit both on DRS effectiveness and top end speed. I think if we go again for quality over quantity, so 2 big upgrades here, and we don't even need to put that many engineers on it. They'll get more expertise if we just put like 1 engineer on it, and it's going to take 33 days. That's fine. The first Grand Prix in 64, we're only going to be doing 2 upgrades before the first race, because we'll basically have that, you know, that initial big hit of these 2 upgrades. So let's spend 1 million here, 1 engineer on the task, 33 days, all calm. This is a big booster, 13% skewing all the way there. That coupled with the chassis, I think we're basically solving our engine cooling problems before the season even begins. Again, just one engineer needed. Don't need to do the rest. To be fair, we could probably give the other engineers a day off, basically. Facility-wise, now we need to refurbish a lot of these things. So I think we're going to have to just firm a lot of this payment here. Weather center. Oh, weather center might be worth upgrading, you know. Let's just wait there for a sec. Refurbish the helipad. Refurbish the tour center. Very important to get a good tour of the shed, of course. Refurbishing the wind tunnel is quite a big one, but let's go for it. 2.6 million. I think I'm going to upgrade the weather center. I think I'm up for it. 2.1 million. Let's go for it to upgrade the weather center. I think for now, that's what I'm happy with. I just want to hold on to this 18 million just to kind of see if there's any other hidden costs we need or anything else we want to do. And then once we're kind of happy, then I'll probably allocate about 8 million to get us down to 10 million. 8 million there could be definitely spent on some facility upgrades. And we've got an email from Toto Wolf. What? About Antonelli. Hello, Archer. See, you've signed Andrea, Kimi, Antonelli to drive for your team. It's still early in the season, so we don't know how they'll perform yet, but it was a shock that you poached them into an immediate contract. Don't expect us to hold back, though. We'll fill their seat ASAP, and we'll come after you in the championship. Oi, oi, oi. What? Is that the vibe? Forget RB. That's in the part. I said it. I said it in the last episode at the end of season 2 when, what was it? Mekis of RB, their team principal, emailed me about, oh, you just got lucky in the season. Mate, I don't care about you. You're old news, okay? You're old news because apparently now Toto Wolff has set down a marker that Mercedes are maybe going to be our #1 enemy and rivals in the city. Well, he's basically formed the story for us. It's game on, Merc. It's game. Oh, bloody hell. If they've kept Verstappen, that means we're directly going up against Max Verstappen in a rapidly improving Mercedes car. Oi, oi, oi. But I'm game. I'm game. Let's be having you, Toto Wolff. Let's be having you. And to that effect, are we ready? Are we ready to see the team roster update for 2026? I don't think I'm ready. Are you lot ready? Here we go. This is the grid for 2026. This upcoming Season 3. Oh, okay, so far. Oh! Oh, my God, look at that. Look at that. Oh, the team signing that everyone is talking about is Lando Norris, who officially joins Williams next season after a 2-year-long career with McLaren. This is the start of a 1-year contract for 29,416 million per year. Williams have managed to bag Lando Norris for 1 year on a pretty decent contract, but that must mean just Lando's basically left McLaren after Piastri won the Season 2 championship. And look who's alongside him. It's not a surprise for Ferrari. They retain Leclerc and Hamilton. It's the new pairing from Season 2. They stick with it for the new era of Formula 1 in 2026. But Fernando Alonso, after taking a year sabbatical, remember, he wasn't on the grid for Season 2. He was just a free agent. I thought he retired, but he was a free agent, it would seem. And he's back in Formula 1. He's back for a 3rd time in McLaren alongside the new reigning champion, Oscar Piastri. That's mental. That's big. That's big. Lando's joy. Wait, does that mean it could be Carlando? Because remember, Sainz was in Williams in Season 2. So could we be getting a Carlando reunion at Williams? Let's find out. Let's continue scrolling. So already, that is bloody shocking to me. I did not think we were going to be seeing a change for McLaren. Ferrari was to be expected, of course. All right, here we go. Let's scroll down to Mercedes and Aston Martin now. Aston previously had Gasly and O'Ward, and Mercedes, they had Verstappen and Antonelli. Of course, we've got Antonelli, so we know at least one driver is changing there. What's it going to be? Oh, my days! What? No way! Sainz has left Williams after just 1 season, and he's joined Mercedes. It's the Toro Rosso old teammate partnership. Verstappen stays at Mercedes. That's not surprising. You know, they were very much on the up last season. But Sainz has opted to leave Williams, so it won't be a Carlando reunion. It's Sainz and Verstappen, the old school Toro Rosso teammates, together again at Mercedes. Aston stick with Gasly and O'Ward, which is fairs. I think that was a decent lineup for them, and when they actually did perform, both of their drivers were performing well, you know, so no surprise for Aston Martin. Actually, it would have been silly for them to check. I mean, who would they change to? You know, they might not be able to afford anyone else, basically, so they've locked in Gasly and O'Ward for multiple years. I says, well, you know, O'Ward's locked in for a couple of years anyway, but that's big. That's big. So that means Toto Wolff's email about coming for us and not letting up. We're going up against Verstappen and Sainz with Behrman and Antonelli. It's basically Mercedes, the old guard. You know, they used to be dominating this sport. They've got, you know, the old guard, the current established guard of Verstappen and Sainz, 2 of the best drivers on the grid in recent years, arguably. You know, with Sainz, you know, I really rate Sainz in the last couple of years for sure. And obviously Verstappen is Verstappen. We're going up against that duo and Mercedes, with us, with the new crop, the new gen, the new drivers you're excited about entering Formula 1, Behrman and Antonelli. Okay, game on. And next up, well, we'll see if Red Bull managed to sway Russell to stay put at the team, because Russell was a free agent. We tried to sign him. He didn't want to budge. So maybe he's actually had second thoughts and wants to stay with Red Bull. We know the lineup for our team, of course, on the right-hand side. But what are Red Bull going to have in store for us? Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, Mick Schumacher, pretty cool to get a ride in Formula 1 again. Van Dorn, that's a blast from the past. We haven't had Van Dorn in Formula 1 since, what, like 2017 was the last time he was in F1. That's a real fall from grace. That just shows Red Bull. I actually still legit think they broke the cost cap in Season 1, or they did something financially bad that they had to go and get rid of Verstappen, get rid of their technical chief, and now they can't even afford to keep Russell on the books. And Lawson as well. So Mick Schumacher and Stoffel Van Dorn, that just screams to me that Red Bull aren't getting any better into Season 3. And why? Definitely, we should be looking to attack Red Bull in the championship. We should be looking to finish ahead of them. And of course, I mean, because Toto's laid down the gauntlet, we're looking to try and rival Mercedes. That hopefully means the fact that I know Toto's emailed us because we nicked Antonelli, but the fact he's emailed us as well, I hope that means we're near Mercedes in the RMD chart. But wow, right, Red Bull, big fall from grace from Season 1. And to add just another layer to this, also remember, Red Bull here in 2026, it's Red Bull Ford. So this should have been a brand new, exciting era for the team. And they're starting off this brand new partnership with Ford in the worst possible kind of space for them. So how is that going to work out for them? Will the Ford partnership give them a booster into the season? We shall see. There is going to be a Red Bull Ford different livery for this team, and also I should say also other liveries for some of the other teams gotten off overtake.gg, which I'll get into later on in the episode to update you guys on some of the nice new liveries we've got for these different teams. But we now move on further down the page and we get to RB and Audi. Obviously used to be Sauber, now Audi in 2026. What is it going to be? Hulkenberg. Oh, what the? Hulkenberg and Villagomez for Audi. I'm not gonna lie. Hands up. I've never heard of Rafael Villagomez. But okay, interesting. To be fair, Sauber, the team that has become Audi, they weren't in the best spot ever. So just maybe financially, that's all they can afford right now. And RB, they keep Ocon and they've gained Lawson. Why does it look like RB, as in VCarb, is the better team? Honestly, I think one of you guys even said this in the comment below in one of the previous episodes in Season 2. Watch how, like, in Season 3, VCarb is actually the #1 Red Bull team. Honestly, right now, it kind of looks that way. I think Visa Cash App RB are the #1 Red Bull team, and Red Bull Ford are the junior team in many aspects. Like, that is a much stronger lineup, in my opinion, compared to that. And tangibly, rating-wise, that is a stronger lineup. So there could be a big upset on the cards where RB are doing better than Red Bull this season. Audi, that's a left field one. Hulkenberg obviously being there, he was there from Season 2, but his partner being Rafael Villagomez, never heard of the guy. Hopefully he can grow well for them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the vibe is. I wouldn't be surprised if Audi want to go for another driver in the middle of the season if they, get off to a good start. They have the funds for it. Who knows? And now we come to, I think that's Haas and Alpine, I can see. So Haas and Alpine, they had an okay lineup. I think Alpine had a pretty okay lineup last season. Haas, they got there what they got. So let's see. Does this so far, this means that Russell is just a free agent, and also Albon is still just a free agent in this season because he was a free agent last season. So let's see what it goes to as we go to Haas and Alpine. Tsunoda and Bottas are still at Alpine, but look at the new Haas lineup. Perez stays at Haas. Paul Aaron, he's kicked out after a season, and George Russell has joined Haas. That's an insanely strong lineup for Haas. Haas have a stronger lineup than RB and Red Bull. That's mental. They better, all I'll say is they better use it. They better not waste a good lineup like that of Perez and Russell. Both 83, 88 rated. That's big. And then Alpine stay the same with Tsunoda and Bottas. But to be fair, that's a very, very solid lineup for them. So not too surprised there. But Haas, what a coup for them then. Perez and Russell. I can't believe Russell would have rather have joined Haas than us. That's ridiculous, actually, but I'm very happy with having Antonelli, to be fair, so I'm not actually complaining. Everything happens for a reason, and that has happened for very good reasoning. But if Russell wanted a really high salary, that Haas must be just paying so much for these two drivers, and they just don't have any money for their car then, clearly. And now we get on to the final team, Williams. We already know from the top of the email that Lando is there. Who's alongside him? It's Magnussen. They're retaining Magnussen. I kind of thought it would have been kind of nice for them to get Albon in there. That would have been a kind of cool friendship partnership, Lando Norris and Alexander Albon, but they retain Kevin Magnussen. So that means Albon, unfortunately, is still a free agent, and Giovinazzi, our man that we replaced Antonelli with, is now a free agent, probably gone back to Ferrari, maybe, to be honest, as a backup driver. But still no signs then of, you know, like Pourchaire, for example. I think he's pretty high rated in the game, but no room for him seemingly somewhere in a team. Maybe down the line he will feature in one of these teams, because I feel like Pourchaire should be right there with Behrman and Antonelli maybe getting the chance in Formula 1. But mad set of driver transfers. Maybe not as mental as Season 2 was, but you got to admit, that's still a bit shocking. You know, Alonso, McLaren, Sainz to Mercedes, Red Bull and RB, this dynamic's mental. Haas as well, that's pretty crazy. And then Lando at Williams. So still, and Audi maybe fumbling a little bit with Hulkenberg and Villa Gomez. So, yeah, very, very peculiar and very interesting. Big unknowns into 2026. Oh, James Allison, you beautiful man, you. Chassis, reduced deadline, no cost. He's just come up with good news. Amazing. And now the design has been done of our brand new chassis, so we can manufacture that as well. I'll get 3 of those going, and that'll get all done in time for the first race. Beautiful. And Abby Pulling continues to grow to 66 rated. Not too bad. With that rate of progress, she might be like 75, like a decent range. By like, you know, maybe in Season 4. And suspension simulator has been done. That is a great addition to our repertoire of facilities. Design center may need refurbishment. We're going to have to go with it. 2.4 million. So in the end, we may not actually even have any money to make another upgrade on the facilities. We may have to stick with that. And the weather center has been upgraded to level 3. Hopefully, we have a car that can use the weather center to good use. And it's now time to fill out our first sponsor plan. And we're going to completely book it up. Completely make sure that we get this done. And as we get towards the end of February in-game, it's now coming towards the end of pre-season testing then. The results are in. Oh my days. This is what the R&D chart looks like off the back of the pre-season testing results. So confirmed, you know, final parts installed on each of the AI team's cars. Probably the car they'll start the season with out Australia, maybe barring some last-minute upgrades, I don't know, going into Melbourne. But look at the jump we've made. We're up to 3rd on paper. And no wonder Toto Wolff wants it out for us. Not only have we, gotten Antonelli away from him, obviously, as he said in his email, but actually, on paper, we're quite close together, so we should be probably in the vicinity of fighting Mercedes in the R&D chart. McLaren have come through the big regulation change, still in 1st place. Ferrari is still there in 2nd place, but look at the bottom of the R&D chart. Red Bull, it's already confirmed. They're already the 2nd best Red Bull owned team, because Visa, Cash App, RB are ahead of them, and they've also done some great work over the winter break, it would seem, to leap ahead and try and bridge the gap themselves. Or either what's happened is, probably more likely, Aston Martin have actually tripped up and VCarb have improved, so they've met in the middle, because they're very close together now. Aston no longer in that top 5 pack, it's now a top 4 pack, I guess, but also you can say ourselves and Mercedes, maybe we've got some work to do to catch up to Ferrari and McLaren, but I'm not even thinking about that right now. Right now, I'm just thinking about, does this mean confirming that next episode, the start of Season 3, can we realistically put a target of aiming for our first podium as a team in F1? I think we should. But yeah, Red Bull are actually very closely tied with Williams at the bottom there. Then right at the bottom, this is unbelievable. Haas, the worst team on the grid, they've got Perez and Russell driving for them. This is literally, they've just spent all their money on drivers and they've got no money for their car development, clearly, because it's just getting worse and worse. And then it says Stake Sauber here on the chart. That's because on the R&D chart plugin I've got, it still shows the original team name. But of course, this is Audi with Hulkenberg and that driver I just have never heard of. And you can see for good reason why maybe Audi haven't gone for a big money signing. They probably don't have the money, and their car is not at a point, Audi, where it warrants a big signing. So big work to do for Audi, big work for Red Bull, Ford to do to try and make up, you know, performance and try and get back to some former glory, because yeah, RB are ahead of them and RB could soon be in the top 5 teams. But what a strategy for us in season 2 then, to just park most of the resources into upgrading and researching for this year's car. All that pain we took in the middle part of the season where we had no upgrades, we were worried about, you know, how we were going to be doing, it was all worth it, because now we have a good chance, I think, for one, to maybe be going for our first ever podiums in Formula 1. That is very, very exciting, and that is a great way to end off this pre-season episode for 2026, Season 3 of this F1 Manager 24 creator team. Guys, if you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.